Hi, welcome back to the Poke Historian. I'm your host, Matt X. This is the show where we get on the camera and we talk about Pokemon cards and life, the intersection between the two, and whatever the hell else I feel like talking about. So, I just got back from old Collecticon in Orlando, Florida. Lovely town, that Orlando. I actually went to Epic Universe for my first time, and that was really sick. Huge Nintendo fan, so getting to see Super Nintendo World was pretty freaking fantastic. But yeah, Collecticon Orlando. Definitely a different vibe this year, I would say. And much more packed than it's been in the past few years. I feel like every year the crowd's been doubling, and this year the crowd was absolutely insane. On Saturday, we had to park like 25-minute walk away from the actual convention center to be able to just even get in the door because there were so many people going, which was a bit surprising. And then when you got in there, it was fascinating. Like I felt like I was on Wall Street or something. Like these kids and these people were walking around like they were day traders with their metal briefcases with all their big baller Pokemon cards. It was almost to the point where I was kind of like laughing to myself. It's like, is this what we become? Do we all think we're some like form of like day traders or something out here making like high stakes deals and everything with Pokemon cards? Like I know they're expensive now and everything, but the fact that that seemed like it was the mentality out there was really weird. And there's people out there with wagons of stuff trying to sell and trying to buy. It was like, I don't know. It didn't really feel like a collector's event. It felt more like a business event, like at times. And it made me kind of sad to see that sort of vibe, you know. And don't even get me started on the prices of a lot of the cards out there. Seemed like every vendor I went to, it's like, oh, you want that card? Well, it'll be $1,000. It was wild. Like there were so many expensive cards, and it's wild too to see like how much the prices increased on a lot of these cards as well. Like, you know, just looking at all the crystals, any kind of like vintage cards that were high grades, like everything 1,000, 500, 800, 1,000, 3,000, 10,000, 40,000, 100,000. Um, and it just kind of made me get to the point where I'm thinking, so who exactly is the target audience for this stuff? Because I don't think it's the little family that just walked by. You know, I don't think they're buying a first edition Shining Charizard for $8,000 or whatever the heck it was. I mean, it was just kind of wild to see. And then the amount of flexing some of these vendors were doing too. Like there was one guy, he had like 35 prismatic Umbreons just sitting out there like, yo man, I'm making so much money. Check out all these Umbreons I got. And then below that he had a bunch of sealed Van Gogh Pikachus. It's like, get the frick out of here, man. Like, you're not some big baller because you have some Pokemon cards, okay? Like, I've got a damn good collection myself, y'all know. And like it just doesn't matter. It's just cards. Like it's fun, it's cool. Yeah, but like just to go out there and flex like that, like I just don't understand the mentality. Like some of these people thought they were just so cool out there having all their big baller collections. And I tell you what, if I had 30 prismatic Umbreons in my collection, I would damn well sure not have them out there in public for display. Like that's a liability to me. You know, like I don't know what people are thinking. Oh, then there's other people, they just had like a bunch of Franklins just sitting out there in their cases, just showing off like, oh, look at all this money I got, man. Like I'm a big baller vendor. I don't know. That kind of vibe just wasn't my thing. And there were so many people that were running around getting in all the vendors' booths and stuff like that, where it was really kind of hard to see and a little bit of shoving going on. A lot of smelly people out there. I don't know. I definitely enjoyed it more in years past. But I will say that on Saturday, though, getting to see Soulja Boy live was freaking fun. It brought me back to very late high school and early college, getting to see that. And if you look at my shorts, you can see Pikachu was actually up there on stage dancing with him and stuff, and got a real kick out of that. Of course, Jason Page was there doing his thing and singing the Viridian City song and the Pokemon theme song and all that. And I don't know. I always get a kick out of that guy, even though he's a little shaky, it kind of seems like. But yeah, that was my experience. As far as what I bought, I actually didn't even buy like many expensive cars this year because, like I said, a lot of these prices I saw were just kind of a turnoff for me. I was like, you know, I just couldn't pull the trigger on it. I just felt like this is kind of a weird time to be, you know, dropping, you know, a couple grand on Pokemon cards. And just for reference, I brought with me $1,000 cash, and then I also brought some sealed products for trading, including Paldean Evolved booster box as well as a Paradox Rift booster box, and a Crown Zenith booster bundle. I figured, well, that'll give me like an extra $1,000 basically. But then when I got out there and I was looking at these cards and I was like, I could buy some of these, but do I really want this? Like, I just felt like I was at a point where like I don't need to drop that much money on Pokemon cards. It's just ridiculous. Like, I've already got a lot of cool stuff, and I was like, if you're just out here blowing money just to blow it, like that's stupid. You know, I can put that money to better uses back at home. So I probably only spent about maybe $110 total anyways throughout the whole event. Didn't buy too much on Saturday. I will say the experience Sunday was a bit better, a lot less people out there. I think it also helped that Soldier Boy was only on Saturday, because I do think that actually brought in the crowd a little bit. So on Sunday, we got there a little bit earlier and we were able to go around from booth to booth and not be shoved as much and not be like so pressured to kind of keep it moving and all that. And did get a few cool cars that I was kind of chasing. And I guess the last point I'll say about this before I show you what I got is just seeing the market like this and the prices on things, and just kind of realizing to myself that like not a lot of people can even afford the stuff that's out there. Like, it was like straight PSA 10s across the board, like some of these vendors had. Like, not a lot of 9s, 8s, and 7s of chase cards, like 10s, 10s, 10s. So anyways, like with the market being like this, I think I'm starting to get on team top signal a little bit with this. Like, I do think we're kind of reaching a breaking point here. We'll see. I could be completely wrong, but it really, after seeing all that and seeing a lot of these $1,000 cards just sitting there and not selling, I'm kind of thinking we might be reaching some sort of top signal, top area here, where we may see a correction on some of this stuff pretty soon. It just seems like it's gotten too big. And you get the impression that the only people that are out there buying this stuff, it's like investors buying and then selling to other investors. And it's like, you know, people like to use the idea of a pyramid scheme to describe what's going on. And I guess it's sort of like that, but it's like investors just selling to each other, you know, just pumping the price up. And it's like, you know, do people like you and me, do they even want this stuff at those prices? I'm kind of skeptical on that. I mean, I'm sure there's a few people, you know, there's got to be very rich people out there that would love to have some of this stuff, but it's starting to really feel like a lot of the collectors have been priced out, even though there are rich people that are out there buying things. But yeah, I don't know. This stuff is starting to make me a little bit nervous. And not nervous in the sense that I'm worried about losing my shirt on anything I've bought like over the last, what is it now, like 10 years or so. But nervous in the sense where I don't really feel like going all in, buying like new $1,000, $2,000 chase cards and things like that. Like, my plan is I think I'll keep buying the new sets when they come out just to get them. I don't like that Pitch Black is basically selling on the market for $300. I might only get like one of those, but for the most part, like other than just getting the new sets when they come out, I don't know if I want to pay high prices for these cards anymore. Like, we're getting into the summertime. Like, I can find other things to do with my time, other fun things. I like to go to the beach. I like to go work out and travel and stuff like that, go to concerts. So I think, at least for the time being, until things kind of maybe settle to a place where I'm more comfortable with, I think I'm going to focus my money doing other things that I enjoy. But anyways, that was my experience over at Collecticon. I'm going to show you guys a few of the cards I got. We'll see how the camera actually focuses on these. We'll see. All right, here we got a Light Ninetales. This is one of the cards I was chasing, trying to get all the light Pokemon. Did not end up getting them all on this trip, but I do like this card, and I got it for a very good price. It's very pretty. And I know all this is going to look backwards to y'all, but there's nothing I can do. I don't know how to flip the camera around. Got this Team Rocket's Meowth here. This card's pretty funny. Like that look on Giovanni's face, just admiring his cat. Got the little Bunnelby here. I've been wanting this one. It's got like an Alice in Wonderland vibe going on, so I'm happy to get that. Very cheap, only $1. Light Dragonair. This is actually a first edition. I was kind of surprised at how cheap the first edition was, and the card's in great shape, and it's such a beautiful artwork, so I wanted to get that. Definitely happy to have that in my collection. Been eyeing this Meryl for a while. Like, whenever I get on the Dex app and I start looking at cards, it seems like I stumble upon this one fairly often. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get this. It's an e-reader card, which is pretty cool too. So happy to have that. Another cheap one. This card right here, it's from Chaos Rising, Mega Gallade. There was just some guy who was like opening a pack at his vendor booth, and I guess he was like opening it for one of the people that was like buying cards. They were doing some kind of like weird gambling deal or whatever. And they pulled this card and they were both like, I don't want that. So I just put it to the side and I looked at it. I'm like, hey, can I take a look at that? He's like, oh, sure. I'm like, oh, this is a cool card. He's like, oh, do you want it? I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. So I ended up with this Mega Gallade and I think it's really sick. So I don't care if it's cheap. Probably one of the more expensive cards I got, but really not that expensive. Team Rocket's Mimikyu from Ascended Heroes. I feel like this card is going to do well long term. I mean, I got it for like 30 something bucks, so I was happy to get that. And you got Proton there in the background, so pretty cool. And we got Ethan's McCargo here. Love this one, the gold and silver vibes. Pretty sick card. Not a huge fan of McCargo, but it's definitely a Gen 2 Pokemon, and it goes with the theming here. Got Mount Silver there in the background, so I like it a lot. And then, on top of that, I actually ended up getting a couple Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Got the old Dark Magician here from Star Deck Yu-Gi. I had this card at one point, but then I sent it in for grading with PSA, and when it came back, it got stolen in the mail, so that kind of sucked. So I was happy to have another one. And then the same thing for this Blackluster Soldier card here. Also sent that in for grading, and it got lost in the mail, so I was happy to pick up another one. So really cool pickups and very cheap too. It's definitely a buyer's market if you're looking to get some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I know people don't really care about it anymore. I don't really play the game myself, but definitely takes me back to being like a 12-year-old and stuff, so happy to pick up some of these cards. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to see more content like this. And let me know, do you think we're getting towards the top of this market, or am I just crazy? All right, I'll see you in the next one.